Good day, everyone. So today I'm going to share with you a video discussion which it is all about the basic algebraic operation. So presented by yours truly, Engineer Crystal Lynch Denere. But before we will move on to discuss some basic laws in algebra, let's define algebra first. When you say algebra, this is a branch of mathematics that deals with a number and a letter which allows us to formulate an equation or an algebraic expression. So let's say that we have here an equation 2x plus 5 equals to 0. So this is an algebraic expression. So here we have a letter which is x, which we will call it as the variable. And we have here a number which we will call it as the coefficient of x. So we could call it as coefficient. And 5 here, right, is called as the constant value. Constant. Right? So these parts, coefficient, variable, concept, composes an algebraic expression. Now we will proceed to the basic law of natural numbers. So let's say we have the values a, b, and c be any number. So the first law is the law of closure for addition. So this is how you will try to express your addition, which is a plus b. So parang cross. So a plus b. Now let's proceed to commutative law for addition. This is commutative law for addition. We have a plus b is equal to b plus a. And commutative law for addition, it means basing on saan ninyo siya baliktad, you still get the same value. So let's say that we have an expression here, 4x plus 5x is equal to 5x plus 4x. So it means here you need to add 4x plus 5x. It means the value here is equal to 9x, right? At the same time, on the right side of the equation, we have 5x plus 4x. So this is still equal to 9x, right? This is how you do commutative law for addition. Basi on saan na siya baliktad, you still get the same value. Now, let's move on to the associative law for addition. So you have a plus the quantity of b plus c. It means gigrupo si b plus c is equal to a plus b. Diri, gigrupo si a plus b, then quantity plus c. So here, class, with this expression, unahon na operate ang nasa sulod sa parenthesis according to the PEMDAS na rule. So you have PEMDAS. So it means here you need to do what's inside the parenthesis first. Next is the exponent. After doing the exponent, you need to operate the multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So this is how you do it, alright? We always remember your PEMDAS. So with associative law for addition, you need to operate what's inside the parenthesis first. Let's say we have 3x plus 9x plus x, right? And then we group natin si 9x plus x. So it means here you start doing 9x plus x first. Is equal to, associative law man tayo, igrupo na to si 3x plus 9x here, right? Then plus x. So it means here that you need to operate 3x plus 9x first before adding x. So here we have 3x plus 9x plus x, that's 10x. And then 3x plus 10x, that's 13x. Okay, is equal to, here we have 3x plus 9x first, which it is equal to 12x, then plus x, so you will get 13x. So as you can see in the law of associative law of for addition, basi unsaon ninyo sa pagkagrupo, you still get the same value. So here we have the law of closure for multiplication. We have ax b. So in our class or in college, we will not use expo as sign of multiplication. Why? Because some of the values, unknown values, will be the letter x. So we need to make use of this expression here to represent multiplication. We have quantity, or open parenthesis a, close parenthesis, times open parenthesis b, close parenthesis. This means that you multiply a to b, or a times b. Or you could also say AB, right? It means here you multiply A and B, AB, right? And I will not allow you to write this way, A times B. That's a no-no, right? Because the point there has its own representation. It represents decimal value. So I will not allow you to write dot, A dot B, right? Now next, here. Commutative law for multiplication, it means similar to siya sa imong addition, commutative law for addition. Basig unsaon na tong baliktad, you still get the same value. So I want you to express the expression here, not this way, but in this way. A times B is equal to B times A. Or you can do this. A times B is equal to B times A. Right? Now, let's move on to the associative law for addition. Multiplication. Similar to your addition, basing on saan mo grupo-grupo, you still get the same value. So you have A quantity, B, C quantity is equal to the quantity of B, AB times C. You still get the same value. Now, let's move on to the distributive law. So you have here A quantity, B plus C quantity is equal to AB plus C, AC. So with this one class, it means distributive law. So you need to distribute A here to each term, right? Each term. Okay, distribute A to each term. So you will have AB, right? A times B plus, copy the operation, which is addition, so plus, then times natin C of A, so you have AC. Or pwede din yan CA class. You could try to interchange it. Because naman tayo commutative law for multiplication. Kasi unsaon na to siya baliktad, you still get the same value. So this is the basic law of natural numbers. Now let's proceed to the next topic, which is the basic laws of equality. So this is the reflexive law or reflexive property. So A is equal to A. So A is always equal to A, B is always equal to B, 3 is always equal to 3, D is always equal to D. That's reflexive property. So you have symmetric property. If you have A is equal to B, then B is equal to A, right? That's common sense. Now, we will have the transitive property. So if you have A is equals to B, and then you have B is equals to C, therefore, A ug C kay equal na sila. So then, A is equals to C. So you have, if A is equals to B, and then you have C is equals to D, then if you will try to add AC, so A plus C is equals to B plus D. Kasi equal man good si A ug B ug C ug D. Right? Now, if we have A is equals to B and C is equals to D, then AC is equals to BD. So much for equality. Let's move on to inequality. So when you say inequality, it means dili sila equal. So it's a statement that one quantity is greater than or less than the other. So there are theorems in inequalities. First is if you have A is greater than B, if and only if negative A will be less than negative B. So if you have A is greater than 0, then you have negative A is less than 0. And if you have negative A is less than 0, then A is less than 0. If you will have A is greater than B and C is less than 0, then AC is less than BC. So if you will have A is greater than B, then C is greater than D. Then if you will try to add A and C, so you have A plus C is always greater than adding B plus D. Right? Adding B and D. So you have B plus D. And here, if you have A is greater than B and C is greater than D, then if you will have these values here, A, B, C, D is always greater than 0. Then AC is greater than BD. So if you have A is greater than 0 and then B is greater than 0 but A is greater than B, then you will have 1 all over A is less than 1 all over B. So these are the theorems for inequalities. So much for the inequalities. Let's proceed to the next topic. So these are other important things that you should know in algebra. So if you will try to multiply a, right, a variable, which a here is just a variable, right, a letter, right, or an unknown variable, right. For, let's say a here is a variable. So if a variable multiplied by 0, then the value is 0. Because any number multiplied by 0 is always 0. Result. So if you have a times, I will just write times as this way. So if a times b is equal to 0, then either a is 0 or b is 0. So either 0 si a or b, or both of them are 0. So if you will have 0 all over a, okay, 0 all over a number, right? This is equal to 0. So for example, you have 0 all over 3, then result is 0. So if you will have a number, okay, any number will be divided to 0, that will be the time it will be undefined. So for example, you have 3 all over 0, it means undefined, right? Undefined value. You don't know the value yet, or you don't know the value, right? There's none. Right, if you will have a number, right, or any constant value all over infinity that is equals to 0, right, or a variable over infinity that is equals to 0, because a variable there will always have its value man. So here, now let's move on to combining like terms. So when you say combining like terms, dapat na kay 2 or more terms that contain the same variables or same letter with the same exponent or same power. So let's say that we have the values here 4x squared minus 3x squared plus 5x plus 6x, right, minus 13x squared plus 14x cubed plus 5x, right? Now, in combining like terms, the term that really connected to combining like terms is to simplify. So let's try to simplify, right? Let's try to simplify this algebraic expression here. So we need to put equal sign class always. So it means that gikan na sa dari, equal na sa dari na portion sa inyong solution. So equal sign. Now, we need to do combining like terms because we will try to simplify the algebraic expression. So first thing that you need to do is to check ang unsa ang pwede ma-combine. So we will have here 4x squared. Ito, ma-combine natin to. Because you have the same letter with the same power, which is power of 2, right? Or same exponent. What else we can combine here? Also kani. Si negative 13x squared kasi x 10 squared. So with that, we will have 4x squared minus 3x squared that is equal to x squared na lang. Then minus pa ng 13x squared. So 1 minus 13 that is equal to negative 12. So you will have negative 12x squared. Right? So we're done with this. Maybe you could do this to cancel it out. It means here that you're already done operating these terms here. And what else? We have 5x plus 6x and then 5x. So you will have 5x plus 5x. You will have 10x plus 6x, that's 16x. So you have plus 16x here. And then just simply copy the 14 because we cannot add anything kay 14. So plus 14x cubed. So with that class, I will accept this as your final answer. Always box your final answer and affix your signature next to it, right? So you could also revise this or try to change it in a proper way of writing the algebraic expression, mas dako dapat ang exponents ang una isulat. So you have 14x cubed minus 12x squared plus 16x, right? But then, okay, maybe kanina sa ang final answer. Unya na ta mag-very simplify the expression. Kasi we could factor out x pa sa, or yeah, we could factor out 2x sa whole algebraic expression. But then, wala pa man ta naabot sa factoring. So, this is just the final answer. Now, how about another one? If you will have this expression here, 3xy squared plus 4x squared y plus 16 xy squared minus 2x squared y plus 3y cubed. Right, let's try to simplify this expression. So, equal sign, you write equal sign, it means that equal na sila sa taas. So, with that, we need to simplify this. So, we can add 3xy squared here, kani o gani, right? So, pila man na. So, we will have 19, right? 16 plus 3, that's 9. So, 19. So, that is equal to 19. X, y squared. Then, what else we can add? Okay, we can subtract 4x squared y and then, kani, 2x squared y. So, 4x squared y minus 2x squared y, this is equal to plus or positive 2x squared y. And then, what else? We're done with this one. So, we have left by 3y cubed. So, plus 3y cubed. So, this is now the final answer. And then, always affix your signature next to it. Right? In my class, always box your final answer so that I will know that that's your final answer. And you need to affix your signature next to that box. Or, you need to enclose your final answer with a rectangular shape box. Right? Now, let's proceed to another topic, which is, it is all about removing and inserting parentheses. So, here class, when simplifying your algebraic expressions, you need to remove some symbols of grouping, which will be done first. So, the following are the symbols of grouping, the parentheses, brackets, and braces. So, kung after braces class, braces na last, right? Pinaka-last. So, in removing or inserting parentheses preceded by a plus sign, right? If you have plus sign, just copy all the terms without changing any sign. Right? So, for example, we have here 3 plus 4 times the quantity of 3x plus 5, right? Okay. So, you have your parentheses here, right? Kanina sa sulod, 3x plus 5. So, the thing here, if you want to remove the parentheses, okay, you just simply do distributive property first, distributive force sa each term. So, you have now 3 plus, kasi plus lang man class, you just simply copy the sign without changing it kasi plus man siya. Right? So, you have 3 plus 4 times 3x, that is equal to 12x, right? Plus, copy the sign, distribute C4 kay 5, so plus 4 times plus 5, that is equal to plus 20, right? So, that's positive 20. Now, that's the final answer now. Then, affix your signature box and affix it. What if naman, in removing or inserting parentheses preceded by a minus sign, copy all the terms, and then that's the time you try to change the sign. So, for example, you have 3, similar example lang ta, pero minus na siya, 3 minus 4 times the quantity of 3x plus 5. Again, distribute C, negative na, not plus 4, but negative na. So, negative 4 sa each term. So, you will have 3 minus 12x, right, minus 20 na, right? So, again, you need to change the sign. Right? So, that's your final answer and affix your signature next to it. So, if a if a symbol of grouping encloses other symbols of grouping, the inner symbol first work from the inside out. So basically, if taas ka inyong equation and dagdag parenthesis, parenthesis after parenthesis, you will do the innermost parenthesis first. So maybe let's have an example for that. Now let's have this as our example. So we have to simplify the expression here. We have quantity 3x squared minus 5y times the quantity of 2x minus 4y plus 6 times the quantity of 3x plus 7y minus 5x times, plus 11x, quantity plus 11x plus y, then quantity minus 2y squared, then quantity. So first thing that you need to do is to put equal sign, of course. It means that this one here, this part of your solution is equal to this part. So basically, you put equal sign first, because some of my students will not put equal sign. So I will just give them necessary deduction for that. So you have equal sign, then our braces, you have 3x squared minus 5y. The first thing that you need to do is to operate the innermost parenthesis, which kani, right? So we could still simplify the innermost parenthesis. We can subtract 3x to, we can subtract 3x and then negative 5x, right? So we will do subtraction pala. So we will have negative 5y and then parenthesis 2x minus 4y, then plus 6 times the quantity of 3x plus 7y minus 5. So you could do 3x minus 5x. So you will have negative 2x. So I will just write 7y first minus 2x, right? Plus quantity plus 11x plus y, then quantity minus 2y squared, and quantity. Next thing is to get rid of the innermost parenthesis. That's our goal. So we need to get rid sa kani na open and close parenthesis dere. By how? We need to distribute positive 6 to each term, right, on inside the parenthesis. So we will have now, right, parenthesis 3x squared minus 5y, then square bracket 2x minus 4y, plus 6 times 7, we will get 42y, right? So minus, just simply copy the operation. So you will have minus 12x plus 11x plus y, then quantity minus 2y squared, right? So we need to get rid of the innermost, so you need to work from inside out. So we need to do adding the similar terms here. So we could combine like terms. We have negative 4y and then we have 42y. What else? We have 2x and then negative 12x and then we will have 11x, right? And we still have y also pala here. So we could add them up. So you will have now 3x squared. I will just get rid of the braces na lang. So you have 3x squared minus 5y, then the quantity, right? We need to do combining like terms here inside this parenthesis. So you have 2x minus 12x, right? That is equal to negative 10x, right? Negative 10x. So negative 12x plus 2x man. So you have negative 10x plus 11x. So you will get x na lang ang nabilin. So we will have negative 4y plus 42 plus y. So you will get negative 39, right? Kasi this is 38 y, and then plus y, do you have plus 39 y, right? Parenthesis minus 2y squared, right? So we need to get rid of the parenthesis so that we could simplify the whole expression. So you have 3x squared here minus, right, distribute each term, negative 5 to each term. So you will have negative 5xy, right, plus 39 times 5, right, you will get negative, kasi negative 5y man na siya, so you will have negative 195y, right, minus 2y squared. Oh, y squared ito. Kasi negative 5y times 39y. So, you need to add the exponent pag mag-multiply ka one term of another term. So, you need to add the exponent of the variable. So, you have 195y squared. So, let's try to simplify it further. So, you have 3x squared minus 5xy, right? Negative 95y squared minus 2y squared, that is equal to negative 197, right? 197 y squared. So this is now our final answer. And then always box your final answer and affix your signature next to it. So this is how you try to simplify a whole expression with a lot of parentheses, right? So you need to work inside, right? You need to get rid of the parentheses, the inner parentheses po, and then work from inside out. Now, let's proceed to the index law. So, if we will multiply x by x, then the product will be xy. However, if we will try to multiply x and x by x, the product is not written as xx, but we need to write it as x squared. So, x raised to 2. So, not the exponent to 2. It means there na duwa ka buok x, right? Which read as x squared. So similarly, if you have y, so you need to multiply y times y times y. It is not written as y, but we will write it as y raised to 3, right? Which is read as y cubed or y raised to 3, okay? And also, if z, we should not write this way, z, but we will write it as z to the 4th. Okay, z raised to 4. So the number 2, 3, and 4 indicate how many times you try to multiply your variable to itself. So if mauna kang giingon na pag x lang, it's pretty understandable. It is raised to 1. Like for example, you write here as this value x. So here, it simply here represents na raised to 1 na sa. You don't need to write raised to 1, but simply write x. Okay? So, let's talk about more about the laws of exponent. So, let x and then a and b will be real positive numbers. So, if you will have x raised to n, it means you multiply it to itself. So this is equal to x times x times x. So n factors of x. So if you have x raised to a, right, times x raised to b, so if you will try to multiply one term sa another term, you just simply add the exponent. So this is equal to x raised to a plus b. Simply add the exponent. So if you will have x raised to a divided by x raised to b, or simply you could write it this way, x raised to a all over x raised to b, it means division. This is just simply equal to x raised to a minus b. Pag divide class, you will try to subtract the exponent in the numerator minus sa exponent sa denominator. So you will have x raised to a minus b. So if you will have the quantity x all over y, quantity raised to a, right? It is written this way, class. So it's too small. So you have x all over y, quantity raised to a. This is written as x raised to a all over y raised to a. Okay? So dapat put si y will not be equal to 0. Why? If you have x raised to a all over 0, it means undefined. Right? A number all over 0 is undefined. So if variable or a number raised to 0, so if you have x raised to 0, this is just simply equals to 1. Right? And if you have quantity x, y, quantity raised to a is simply equals to x raised to a times y raised to a. So basically, if you have z, y raised to 2, this is equal to z, distribute lang, right, distribute sa each term. Right? So you will have z raised to 2, y raised to 2. Okay? So z raised to 2 times y raised to 2. If you have quantity x raised to a, quantity raised to b, okay, is equal to x ab. So it means class, i-multiply lang na ninyo sila. Right? For example, you have z raised to 2 times, z raised to 2 times the quantity raised to 3. So this is equal to z raised to 6. Kaya i-multiply man mo lang sa 2 times 3. Right? I-multiply ang exponent. Pag mag-multiply ka class, for example, this one, tilikat na time, mag-i-add lang nimo sa exponent. Pag mag-multiply ka one term o another. Pero pag ingani class, if z raised to an exponent time raised pud gyapon siya to its another exponent, you just simply multiply the exponent. Right? So if you have x raised to negative a, right, or you have x raised to negative 2, right, negative 2, so this is equal to 1 all over x raised to negative 2. And your x should not be equal to 0. Again, pag equals to 0 siya, mahimo siyang undefined. Right? It should not be equal to 0. Pag negative ang exponent class, you just simply put the, this is na, okay, 2 na siya. 2 na lang siya. Wala nang negative. Pag magbaba ka, wala na si negative. Sorry for that. So you have x raised to negative 2 is equal to 1 all over x squared na siya. Right? So a variable raised to a negative power, for example, negative 3. So for example, a here, a raised to negative 3, this is just simply equal to a 1 all over a raised to 3. Okay? Babaon lang nimo siya. Ibutang lang nimo siya sa denominator. Right? That's for the laws of exponent. Now, let's move on to the properties of radicals. So, the properties of radicals class, if you have a raised to 1 all over n, this is just equal to the nth root of a. So, if you will have 1 all over, a raised to 1/3, this is just equal to the cube root of a. Right? Okay, raised to 1 all over n man sa class. So simply, if you will have a raised to 1/2, this is just equal to the square root of a. Right? Pag 1/2 class or 2 ang nakabutang ng 1 all over 2, si 2 there just simply simplifies, or our n there is 2, simplifies square root na n, square root na nasa. Naka 2 na nasa. It's pretty understandable na a there is raised to 1/2. Or our n is 2. Okay? Kasi square root naman siya. You don't need to put 2 class. It's pretty understandable na kung ana lang, ang n na to, there is 2. So if you have a raised to m all over n, this is equal to the nth root of a raised to m. So for example, you have 2 raised to 1/3, 4/3. So 2 raised to 4/3, this is equal to 4th root, cube root of 2 raised to 4. Right? Ano nasa pagsulat. So that's this, our 4 here is the m, and our 3 here is the n. So you need to write it this way, cube root of 2 raised to 4. And if you have quantity nth root of a, quantity raised to n, this is just simply a. So if you will have x raised to 1/2, then quantity nimo raised gyapon nimo 1/2. So this is just equal to x. Diba pag ingani, you need to multiply the exponent. So you have 1/2 times 1 times 2. So we could cancel out 2 here. So ang nabilin kay x raised to 1. So you will have just put x na lang. Right? And if you have nth root of a times nth root of b, this is just equal to the nth root of ab. Magagawa lang to class kung similar ang iyahang roots, kung similar ang iyahang n. We can multiply the values. For example, you have square root of 3, right? Times the quantity of square root of 9, right? this is equal to, kasi same man sila ang na n, 2 man sa class, we don't need to put 2 there. It's pretty understandable, this is 2 na, ang atong n. So you can multiply that, 9 times 3, that's 27, right? And then, let's try to check if na as 27. Let's try to simplify this as square root of 27. So you will got 3 times 9, right? 3 times 9. Okay. 3 times 9. That's equal to 27. Let's try to simplify the radical expression here. 9 times 9 is 27. So we could factor out square root of 9 or call it square root of 9, which is 3. So you will have 3 square root of 3. So this is now the final answer. Okay? 3 square root of 3. So anyways, again, magamit lang yung pag-multiply pag same ang ilahang n. Right? Same ilahang root. Kung 1/3 na sa class, for example, cube root of 4 times the square root of 9, you're not allowed to multiply 4 and 9. Kasi iba yung n nila. Alright? Dito 2 ang n nila ni 9 and here for 4 3, right, ang n. So, cube root siya, dire, naka-square root. So, you're not allowed to simply multiply this one. So, here, you will have the number 5, nth root of a all over nth root of b. This is equal to nth root of a all over b. So, similar to number 4, you could also combine it, but kung makombine lang sa pag, same ang ilahang roots or same ang ilang value sa n. Alright? Now, I think that's it for the properties of radicals. Let's move on to the next one. So let's have this expression here. Let's try to simplify. We have the quantity of negative x raised to 8 all over 2y to the 5th z raised to 6 times the quantity of 4y raised to 6 z raised to 3 all over x raised to the 5th. So the thing here, you need to check which part of here we could simplify, right? So we could simplify this expression by trying to check its exponent. Kasi division man to. Can we divide something here on the first term? Wala. How about on the second term? Wala din. But then we could write it because nag-multiply ka. So you could multiply negative x raised to 8 times 4y raised to 6z raised to 3. So you could write it as negative 4x raised to 8 y raised to 6 z raised to 3. Kasi nag-multiply ka. So multiply din natin tong 2y to the 5th z raised to the 6 times x to the 5th. So you will have 2x to the 5th y raised to 6, y raised to 5, sorry, and then z raised to the 6th power. And now we are having this expression as if you remember your exponential laws or laws of exponent, we could divide it by subtracting the exponent, all right, of the same variable. So negative 4 all over 2, that's negative 2. Then you have x, right? X, kasi x, same sila, x, and then x divided, x raised to 8 all over or divided by x raised to the 5th. This is equal to x raised to 8, una si numerator, minus some exponent ni denominator. So 8 minus 5. Then simply copy the variable y. So y raised to 6 divided by y raised to the 5th. So you will have y raised to 6 minus 5. Copy first the numerator minus the denominator na exponent. Same goes with z. So z, copy first the numerator na exponent minus c denominator na exponent ni z. Right? Because you could divide z cubed all over z to the 6th power. Right? So let's try to simplify. You have negative 2x, 8 minus 5, that is 3. So x raised to cube. Then we have y, x 6 minus 5, that's 1. So you don't need to put 1. It's because it's pretty understandable that y there is raised to 1. And then z, right, raised to 3 minus 6, that's negative 3. Right? So negative 3. Again, we have a negative exponent, so we can change it or change its way of writing it. So you could write it in our denominator na para matanggal si negative sign. So you have negative 2x cubed y all over z raised to the third power para matanggal si negative. Ibaba lang nato si z. So this is now our final answer, and then affix your signature next to it. Always yan sa ating klase. Alright, now let's move on to the next example. Now let's try to simplify this expression here. We have quantity 3x times the quantity of 5 minus 6x plus 4 times the quantity of 2x plus 3y plus 1 quantity raised to 0. So, as we mentioned previously, that a number raised to 0 is equals to 1. So, we write 1 here. So, now we will have 3x times the quantity of 5 minus 6x plus 4 times 1. So now we will have 3x times the quantity of 5 minus 6x plus 4. And now we will distribute 3x to each term. So you will have 15x minus 18x squared plus 4. Right? This is the final answer. Or you could express it in a proper way of writing an equation. So you need to write the highest degree first of the exponent. So we will have negative 18x squared plus 15x plus 4. Right? Either way, you could have the same answer. Right? I will accept these two answers here. Simplify. So we have to simplify this. Simplify quantity 4x raised to t minus 1 times the quantity raised to 3t squared. Right? Again, pag naka-raise to ang ato ang exponent, then i-raise na po mo siya. You just simply multiply the exponent. So you will have now, right, distributing 3t squared, t squared sa each term. So this is the first term, and x here, variable x here is the second term. So you need to distribute also that. So you need to put it kay 4 and then kay x as its exponent. So you will have equals 4 times, raised to 3t squared times the quantity of x, and then si x is raised to t minus 1 kasi exponent ni siya so you need to multiply it. So you have quantity t minus 1 times the quantity of 3t squared. So now let's have 4 3t squared times x raised to, I think this is not simplified, but we are trying to expand it. Parang expand ito not simplify. We just put expand. So you just need to distribute 3t squared to each term. So you have x raised to 3t cubed minus 3t squared. So this is now our final answer. You just simply box your final answer and affix your signature next to your final answer. I think this is the end of my video discussion. I hope you have learned something from this video discussion, and I will try to upload some activities which is about the discussion. So have a great day and enjoy your day. Bye bye.